Hello, my name is Amy Verghoot and I'm a clinical psychologist working in Johannesburg. I've been asked by the Wits Amnesty International Student Committee to talk on mental health and particularly this week's theme of balance. There's a lot to say about how balanced living can be very helpful to overall mental health and in turn to people living fulfilling and productive lives. The theory goes that people are generally the most fulfilled and productive when their lives have a variety of focuses and practices, a balance of effort and rest, work and leisure, time alone and time with others, prevents overworking and fatigue, prevents falling into inactivity, and ensures our complex human needs are met. How important is it that students maintain balance between work and leisure under lockdown? In many ways, the answer to this is obvious. A balanced approach is, of course, going to help students to have some productive academic work while avoiding fatigue and not neglecting other important parts of their life that help them to be happy and healthy and which actually support more effective studying. The irony is that as much as balance might be really needed right now, it is much, much harder for students to manage a balanced approach as they deal with the extra pressures, the adjustments, and there's just less available to help them to be balanced or to cope. And I think many students might feel quite ashamed when they look at their lives and they see that they are struggling to have balance or to cope, to manage their studying and the other things in their lives very effectively. I think it really needs to be said that there is nothing to be ashamed about and that this is actually very normal. We are not psychological superhumans, and actually any difficulty coping or lack of balance is of course a normal response to a very, very stressful worldwide circumstance. And I think a good starting point is to slow down and tell yourself that you're not expected to be as balanced and as functional as usual. Pay attention to what is going on in your life with a gentle, non-judgmental attitude, and then to start thinking about how you can include a bit more balance to help yourself to cope better. Firstly, I think it's important for students to think about whether they are in an okay enough place to actually include more balanced ways of living. This is an effortful thing to some extent, and for some it might actually just not be possible right now. They are just surviving, and that's okay. Those people should actually seek other forms of support from other people for now. Then for those who feel like they can, I think it's really important that they don't start from a place of feeling pressure or that they should achieve balance just because balance is a good thing, but rather really thinking about what it might be that would help them to be functioning better and to be feeling better over this time. And there are lots of things like sleep, exercise, healthy eating, contact with others, set work time, relaxing time, time to have fun, that all can be included as part of a balanced way of living. It will be most important for you to really think about what thing is going to be the most important to help you to feel like you are managing. And that might look quite different from the kinds of things that you see on social media or that you hear other people doing. I think there's a way of pathologizing balanced living that's not helpful. So rather think about something realistic, something small, maybe 1 or 2 things that you can include, and do it for the sake of your ability to study productively, to feel good, and to be okay right now. Having some kind of plan and structure once you've chosen those things definitely helps, but not if you stick to it too punitively or strictly or you feel too much pressure around that. The whole thing should really be about how can you gently try and include things that are going to help you. What are the components of a balanced and structured routine? So I think kind of balanced and healthy behaviors include a variety of things like productive work, time to rest, time to sleep well, balanced diet, exercise, and including things that boost your mood, which is like connection with others, hobbies you enjoy, or downtime that you enjoy. And then to have a structured routine, it doesn't need to be overly structured or completely the same every day or something that you stick to perfectly, but it can be quite helpful because it reduces the amount of effort you have to make in deciding what to do and when to do it. If you have a plan, you can just follow that and it can actually lower your levels of fatigue as you go through your day. What is the role of physical health in maintaining balance and mental health? For students, I think it's important that they acknowledge that looking after their physical health is important, and to try and do this where they can in realistic ways. And again, it would be to ask the question, how can I help my body to feel good during this time? And that might be to have a little bit of extra hydration, balanced meals, a little bit of movement every day, trying to get good sleep. It also might mean dancing in your lounge, eating food that makes you happy. I also think it's useful to say that too much of a focus on physical health actually isn't balanced. There's such a thing as being almost obsessed with physical health to the detriment of your mental health. So I think we are more and more aware that our minds and our bodies are intrinsically linked. And so yes, good physical health usually boosts good mental health. Poor physical health can lead to poor mental health. And actually vice versa, good mental health means that people are able to look after their bodies quite well. And sometimes poor mental health means that people struggle to look after their physical beings. And I think actually over this time, as people are under quite a lot of psychological pressure and have had less available to them to help them to look after their bodies, it has actually been increasingly difficult for people to maintain their physical health. I think, we need to have a level of understanding towards that as quite a normal thing that is going on right now.